Straight ahead on the Valley today, police chase a 13-year-old boy down an alley and the encounter ends with shots fired.
Plus, new this morning, police want to talk to the driver of this vehicle. Parents say he followed their child to school and then them to a gas station.
Also coming up, police watch as a driver smashes into one of their squad cars and then later finds that driver injured from a rollover. But first, we're following some breaking news this morning. At least 8 people are dead after a shooting at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis. And police say the suspected shooter is also dead. Multiple other victims were rushed to area hospitals with injuries. Police got the call about shots fired late last night, and as officers arrived, they came in contact with the shooter, who they say then took his own life.
It's not clear yet if the shooter was an employee or what his motive was. Family members who know people who work at the plant were being staged at a nearby hotel to wait for information on their loved ones. New this morning, police in the Southern Valley are asking for help finding a driver who they say followed a child and their parent. They say they have security video that backs up a complaint from a parent who says their child was followed to school the morning of April 8th. The report says the parent picked the child up at school and then they drove to the Blazer Express gas station.
The SUV followed and stopped in the parking lot, and when the family left, the other driver went the other way. Police are looking now for this silver-colored SUV. Picture on your screen. Call Breckenridge Police with any information about this. Also new for you this morning, a North Dakota woman is hurt and facing charges after police say she hit a squad car in Grand Forks and then later crashed her own vehicle. This all started around 9 last night. Officers were on a call at a Southside motel when one of their patrol cars was hit. They chased after the driver but then stopped because they were going too fast.
Then they got a call about that same car involved in a rollover on the north side of town. 35-year-old Cody Packano of Buxton was taken to the hospital and then arrested for reckless driving, DUI, leaving the scene of an accident and fleeing. The city of Chicago is releasing body cam video of the deadly police shooting of 13-year-old Adam Toledo. And a warning, it contains content some viewers may find disturbing. Officers say they were chasing Toledo and another man on March 29th after a call of shots fired in a neighborhood.
An unidentified Chicago officer drives to the scene and then quickly exits his vehicle, then chases Toledo down an alley while identifying him as a police officer and telling the boy to stop. Toledo was then shot in the chest. It happened right before that video froze moments earlier and pronounced dead at the scene. Officers involved in that shooting are on administrative duty during this investigation. Testimony is now over in the Derek Chauvin murder trial, and it happened without the defendant taking the stand. And closing arguments, they're now planned for Monday morning. The former Minneapolis police officer told the court yesterday that he is invoking his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and leave the burden of proof on the state.
It's a high-stakes decision. Taking the stand could have helped humanize Chauvin to jurors who haven't heard from him directly at trial. But it also could have opened him up to a devastating cross-examination by prosecutors. Without the jury present, defense attorney Eric Nelson and Chauvin agreed. It's an understatement to say that they had gone back and forth on the decision about him testifying.
It is now 9 minutes before the top of the hour. We want to get a check of that forecast. An all too familiar scene as we look out our windows. Cloudy this morning. Good morning, Lisa.
Yes, it has been such a gray stretch, and for some of us, it lasts for another day today. And here's a look in Devil's Lake. I've been keeping a close eye on this area because we've had some radar returns indicating that we have some precipitation. And we did get a report of a little light rain coming down in Devil's Lake right now. And you can see that in the distance where visibility is down just a bit. So some precipitation affecting a few of us here in the valley. But right now, most of us just under some overcast skies. We're at 34 degrees in Fargo and Grand Forks. Devil's Lake right at 32. So if we're getting a little rain there too, just be aware that it might get a little slick here. And then in Detroit Lakes, we're at 34 degrees. Fergus Falls reporting some fog at 36. And Bemidji's checking in at 32 as well. So here's a zoomed in view of northeastern North Dakota, Grand Forks right here, and then along Highway 2, you can see back to Devil's Lake, that snow trying to mix over to some rain. Some of this is likely not reaching the ground. I have not seen ground truth for some of these areas to the east of the Devil's Lake area, but still the potential is there that you could have a few flakes, a few flurries with that as that continues to drop southward. And then as we head into the day today, we will see more of those sprinkles coming up. And we just got an update from Devil's Lake at the airport there. Visibility is now down, as we just saw reported at 6 miles at the airport there. And then also the fog in Fergus Falls and Elbow Lake continues. We're at 4 miles in Fergus and 3 in Elbow Lake. Not dense fog, at least at those reporting sites, but still enough that you're going to want to be careful as temperatures are close to the freezing mark. And here's a look at your bus stop planner. Temperatures are going to be cool this morning in the 30s, and then heading home from school, not bad. We'll be back into the 40s. Some of us even closer to 50 in the east. There might be a little sunshine in the east, more clouds to the west. So keep that in mind for one more day. And then looking ahead to the weekend, it's looking pretty great. Saturday, we'll be back into sunny skies for the day with temperatures getting back into the low 50s. Sunday is the day where we're keeping an eye out for our next system. There's going to be a cold front approaching for Sunday night or evening, and that could have some impacts first on your cloud cover during the day, and then for the potential for that precipitation as well. And we cool down after that front passes through, so staying in this cool stretch, but at least the timing of the best weather, we'll say, for the week is happening on the weekend.
Good timing for a nice day on the weekend, at least. Thank you, Lisa. New this morning, a bizarre set of circumstances ended in the death of a man along I-94 in the Twin Cities. The State Patrol says a 38-year-old man was involved in a two-car crash in St. Paul last night, then got out of his vehicle and ran down an embankment.
The troopers say that's when he ran onto the interstate, where he was hit by a car and died. No one else was hurt in that crash. There could soon be trouble for those buying and selling THC. A bill on the governor's desk would ban Delta 8, 9, and 10. Now, that's a product that's sold at gas stations and vape shops.
Once signed, the bill will go into effect immediately, meaning anyone found buying or selling these kinds of THC could face hefty charges for possession of a controlled substance.
This is a very commonly bought and sold product, and I don't want someone to wake up one day and all of a sudden basically be in felony possession of a Schedule I substance.
No one wanted to go on camera, but vape shop managers that we talked with say it's something they sell a lot of.
Hours after the first court appearance for a former Brooklyn Center, Minnesota police officer charged in the death of a 20-year-old, protesters were back outside the city's police department. They're calling for justice for Daunte Wright and his family, and they want more serious charges filed. The hearing for former officer Kim Potter, it was behind closed doors. The
26-year veteran of the police force is charged with second-degree manslaughter for shooting Daunte Wright in the chest during a traffic stop. Potter says she mistook her gun for her taser. Meanwhile, organizers say they're planning a candlelight vigil for later today to honor Wright. It starts at 7:30 at Island Park here in Fargo.
Proceeds from the event will go to help protesters in Brooklyn Center by buying them food and water and going toward bail for people arrested. Police say several dozen people have been arrested for rioting or curfew violations at the protests throughout this week. An arrest warrant is now out for a downtown Fargo arson suspect. 18-year-old Riley Keeping of Fargo is charged with conspiracy to commit arson in connection with that large fire at the Mid-America Steel plant late last month. Our latest check shows that he's not yet in custody at either Cass or Clay County jails.
2 other suspects in the case are juveniles. Police are also looking for suspects involved in a second arson at Mid-America Steel last weekend. If you have any information, you can text your tip and keyword Fargo PD to 847-411 or call the investigations unit. North Dakota is trying to crack down on unemployment fraud after state officials say there's been a significant uptick in people not showing up for job interviews. One Fargo businesswoman says she's fallen victim to it several times just within the last month.
You know, just the other day we had 13 interviews that were scheduled and only 2 showed up. And I would love to tell you that's a rare thing, but it's not right now.
North Dakota employers can now fill out and submit a form about no-shows online 24/7. Job service officials say since the document went live on Wednesday, they received 75 reports by about 6 p.m. yesterday. Employers are not required to report no-shows, and state officials say there is no correlation showing people on unemployment are the ones that aren't showing up for those job interviews. Cars of all years and models, they're taking over the West Fargo area this weekend. It's the Vintage Valley Car Show.
The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live this morning with all of the cool car details. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. It's actually going to be right here at the Veterans Memorial Arena. So pretty nice place, but a lot of places to park, so you can check out these cars. Now they're going to have Ferraris, they're going to have Porsches, they're going to have just Vipers. They're pretty cool. But one car that sticks out to me, if you can call it a car, there's a tricycle with 350 motors. So I can't wait to see that. These cars will be popping up later on this morning. Now letting you know that Camaros, pickups, and Model A's you can see as well. Overall, 96 vehicles and 28 vendors. Now, Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson bringing the big reveal, and I can't wait to see that as well. They're expecting 4,000 to 5,000 people over the next 2 days. Now, they're also letting you know that this provides a safe outlet for people to leave their homes and have fun safely.
To get out alone is going to be what's pretty nice. And secondly, to do it out in a facility that is big enough for 2 hockey arenas. There is a lot of room in here, and you can move around and still be safe.
Now, this event goes from 9 to 8 on Saturday and 9 to 5 on Sunday. Adults are $8, college and high school students are $4, and kids under 13 are free. Now, face masks recommended and will be provided at the show, so all of these details provided on valleynewslive.com.
And we're all very excited to see Hutch's car because he has redone it. It's a car he had in high school.
Yeah,
and Chevelle, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and he's going to be having it at that car show, so
Yeah.
you can see his vehicle there. You can
Say hi
meet
to him.
Hutch and talk about it as well. So some pretty cool stuff happening in West Fargo. Brian Sherrod reporting live. Thank you.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question, you'll find this in 58% of junk drawers.
The answer is super glue.
That's true.
It can fix anything. Broken nail to a piece of trim that came off in your home. Use super glue.
I use it on my nails all the time. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us for more live up-to-the-minute news and weather right now on the Fargo CW.